Testing, 1, 2, 3. No, I left it on Mapmaker Monday. There we go. Fix it. My bad. Totally fixed that. Welcome one and all to the Damn Challenge. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Oh my, we're getting some follows through on Facebook. Thank you, John McDonald, Chrysilda Jacob, and Halasi Gabor for the follows. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Damn fam. Today is the Damn Challenge stream, which we host as a bi-weekly map-making challenge, as a way for our community to showcase their fun, unique skills and ability, to flex their map-making muscle, and also to compete for a prize. The winner gets a $10 Hero Forge gift card, which I love to do because we have that integration with Hero Forge, so it gets you at least, one or maybe two free tokens depending on the time of year and sales. So that's always awesome. Anyway, I appreciate you all being here, and I just want to say welcome and hello. It looks like we've got Gamroot here on Twitch. You got Jacob Gub on YouTube. Welcome, both of you. I'm going to just check our chats on other feeds to make sure they're working while, people are filing in here. So the Twitter stream is up. I'm making sure the TikTok stream is up. Got the TikToks. Now I'm making sure the TikTok stream chat is up and I can see it. Weird. Okay, there we go. Be good. I've got stream chat up on Steam. I've got stream chat up on TikTok. I've got stream chat up on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all the way across the board. So if any of you have questions, concerns, suggestions, feedback, or you just want to hang out, discuss what's going on with your campaign, your maps, etc. Would love to chat about it. But today throughout the stream, we will be showcasing entries from the Hard Work Damn Challenge, which was the theme we picked a couple weeks ago. Hard Work was kind of an interesting theme because it brought out a lot of different unique interpretation. So to start off, we have the winner, which is Excavation, and it was shared by Wolf Williams. This particular map is very cool in a lot of levels, mainly because it's got a lot of very beautiful lighting and verticality. I like all the different aspects of this build, and as you explore it, there's just a lot of fun different things to it. Hey, Swedish Cook. Hello, Atlam. Glad you're here, Atlam. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Make sure we got all the chat feeds up in the correct locations. The chat bot crashed. There it is. Chat bot's coming back up. So how's everyone's week been so far? How's your weekend off to? Is it off to a great start? You doing anything interesting this weekend? Do you have any gameplay planned with your players? Or are you doing any session prep? How about if you had gameplay earlier in the week or perhaps yesterday? Let's hear about what you did. I really love that this is here. I believe that it was Danger Weasel who made this. I'm not 100%, but this particular object is this is like on the cover of the old D&D manuals. It's like a... Anyway, I don't know if you might like recognize that or not. Been a cat fur. Any of you that have a fur baby, it's inevitable that they will get fur all over in the places you like to be because they like to be by you, right? So ultimately, like, my cat will lay all over my clothes and my bed, and it's fur everywhere. I got a like a Roomba style vacuum this last week or so, and oh my gosh, it finds so much fur. I'm so glad I got it. It's great. Hey, thank you for the likes, TikTok. I appreciate you so much for all those hearts. Hey, random ladybird, how are you? And yes, it does look good. Zach, hello, good sir. Being peddled right now? What? I really do like this. They did a good job at making it feel like it's been run down and, you know, kind of lost to time, and it's an excavation. Has that kind of Indiana Jones feel to it. Good placement of rubble, good assortment of rubble sizes. Oh my goodness, we're already over 400 likes on the TikToks. Thank you so much, TikTok, for all the love. Much appreciated. Just noticing my green screen is actually a little off at the moment. Let's see if I can fix that. My light was cut off and it's getting shadow from. Yeah, I'm not certain how long it took them to make, but it definitely seems like a good, 10 to 20 hour build minimum. I don't know if the creator of the map is here, actually. Would be cool if they were present. But Wolf Williams, if you're here, congratulations. Blow that up. Dynamite. Dynamite! Okay. So, as you can see here, there's like a crane platform where they would raise, lower, maybe treasure or pull out dirt and rocks so they could make room for the excavation. And then this is kind of what they were looking for, probably this temple, which it appears that they broke in somehow. Up above, an encampment where it looks like they're pulling up stuff and checking it out. The crane's invaluable to the process. Not sure what this is up here. But this looks like it's all part of like the various workers. This, on the other hand, I don't know. Let's read about this, see if there's more information. Huh. All kinds of hard work present in this elaborate temple excavation site. My only confused part is this. Hey, thank you so much, Molfars. Much appreciated. Wow. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Let's see here. We got a rose. Is that a music symbol? A GG? Ice cream? A heart? Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Does give off Baldur's Gate vibes, doesn't it? Really does, doesn't it? This is just a really well done map that has a good vibe to it, but hello. Is it Acharia? Molfars, again, thank you so much. Much appreciated. If you could do me a favor, Molfars, take your hand like this, right? Look, you see what I'm doing? And then reach around and pat yourself on the back. Like this a bunch of times for being so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So for anyone wondering who I'm talking to, we're multi-streaming. We're live on multiple platforms at the moment. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Steam, etc. You name it, we're live right now, kind of hanging out. So everyone in our community can, enjoy and participate on their preferred platform. But getting back to the map at hand, this thing is just beautiful. I could see this being used very, very, very easily for some sort of like a campaign setting. So I'm a little confused by this tower up here, but it could have just been something that's been there a while, and then they found something below, and then people now they're doing an excavation on the site, like there's an ancient temple below. A lot of times things are built on top of older things. You know, civilizations, new cities are built on top of the old ones after they've been, you know, destroyed or razed or whatever. Um, I could foresee this also being like a magnificent mansion, somewhere to retreat to at the end of the day after working really hard on the excavation. So I love getting into the overlay menu because you really can see the whole map in a single zoom, and it gives you a lot more like control over the zoom. Goodness, 1.1k likes on TikTok. Thank you so much, TikTok. I appreciate that, especially like for those on the other platforms. TikTok is a little bit different. It's algorithmic based streaming, so like all the little like likes and hearts and stuff, they really go a long ways to getting us noticed on the platform, on the streaming like side of it. So thank you again. Really do appreciate it. So I want to take a closer look up here. Maybe we'll put down a token and walk around. Let's check it out in that FP perspective. Cool. So the entry, nice and inviting. Lots to look at, some unique custom art, some cool magical kind of pieces from the, I'm assuming, a Wizards collection. In here we've got, looks like bunks and a lavatory bathroom area. Very nice, fancy in here for sure. I think my favorite part is the mirror right next to the toilet. The wooden room outside, which one are we talking about? Look here, there's something down below. Interesting. I'm not sure where that goes. A secret room. Gotta love a good little bit of intrigue in a map. A little bit fancier bedroom. Probably the owner's private bedroom. What we got here? Oh. Maybe a little chapel, a little worship space, temple or something. Interesting. Yeah, this does feel like it could be a magnificent mansion, especially because it's a portal entry. And it's just represented in a real world space with the whole thing. You know, just a basic mansion or something like that, or a little pocket dimension space. So we've got, which here is like the staging area with like tents for your laborers and whatnot, where they would probably pull up artifacts, you know, categorize them, clean them. What's the term they use? Anyway, where they essentially, they might even put them under the tents to protect them if there's rain or wind or whatever, and set them up for transportation. You come over here. Let's see what we got here. This looks like a little, some blood. So if I had to take a guess at this looks like their healer, or maybe their, like, you know, alchemist's workshop. So it looks like their bedroom and kind of like work quarters all in one space. This just looks like a spilled potion more than blood now that I look at it. So maybe someone on site that can make healing potions and featherfall stuff, potions. And then here you have what is, you know, your laborer's camp and mess. So an area for them to meet and eat and relax and, you know, repair their tools and grab gear and stuff like that. Looks like I think we kind of covered the basis of what everything in this map would be. I do like this overall. Very clean map. It's got a lot going on. My favorite thing about this map, though, is all the 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 verticality between the different elements and areas of the map and the lighting. It's got a really inviting kind of warm lighting. The creator put in a lot of little details that are hard to miss if you don't pay attention. Like they went through here and took the time to kind of sculpt out where the main road tracks are, where people go through a lot, and kind of made like a depression in this area where the sand is mostly kind of pushed to the side from just natural use of this kind of track. Oh, no worries. It's not necessarily for everyone. This particular map obviously is a dam challenge entry, is likely more for the creator itself to use in their own campaigns or just to be an entry. I mean, I do like when people can use the maps that we put up, though. It's always nice. What's your scenario like coming up? Love to hear about it. Ooh, a little below area there. Little pit. So you could have like a paired map to this, or even have like an extension where it just shows like the underground area, you know, behind a wall or something, so it's not visible. But a separate map for a separate encounter makes sense. Sip on my cup. Did anyone get some D&D in this week? Pathfinder or whatever your preferred platform is at the moment. I've been playing Baldur's Gate with my son whenever I can. We've been going through BG3, having a lot of fun with that. There is actually like quite a bit of content in that game that I wasn't aware of. Like, hey, Run Amok, what up? How you doing? Some D&D? Nice. I see what you're going for now. I was gonna ask if you had an abbreviation there. What's SOE? But now I get it. You were going for some D&D. Got you. I got you, fam. How you doing today? Doing errands? Nice. Nice. You gonna run my errands too? Do the adulting for everyone, Run Amok. Listen, we all vote to volunteer you to do it. I'm kidding. Hope you're well. So, we've got Run Amok over on TikTok watching. We've got a good chunk of people over on Steam. I just want to say hello to our Steam viewers, and if you're interested in joining in the chat or have any questions, Steam doesn't show the chat by default. You have to click the little show chat icon just below your view of video, and then you can join in. Would love to hear if you have any questions or feedback, suggestions, etc. So just keep that in mind. If you want to join in, you're more than welcome to, but if you want to just chill, you can do that as well. We've also got viewers right now on Twitch, YouTube, looks like possibly Twitter and Facebook. So we'd love to hear where y'all are watching and if the feed's coming through good for you. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback or areas of the map that are interesting to you, love to hear your thoughts on these maps too. Remember, as we look through the various entries of the Damn Challenge, we definitely want to, talk about them and give positive, feedback to the creators, because they put themselves out there by entering these contests. Not only is it not necessarily easy to come up with a theme, an idea for the theme and build something out to completion. It takes a little bit of confidence to put your work out there where everyone can see it. So let's pat them on the back, let's congratulate them, and let's be a positive, community that supports the creators that like to share. I did. I said on the next office hours or during the next regular Damn stream. This is the Damn Challenge, so I can't do it on a Damn Challenge because we're showcasing maps from the contest. But I will definitely be able to, I would say, either on a Wednesday stream. When it comes to Saturday stream, it's every other. On a Monday stream, I would do it too, because, I could stop what I'm building to show you. But when it comes to forced perspective, it's a lot of trial and error, especially because, what you think is good may work, or what I think is good may not work for you, and vice versa. But I did, if I remember correctly, give you an example of a map on the workshop to look at. Did you take a look at that map by chance? Oh no! A police raid? That's never fun. Goodness. Well, I hope your friend is alright. So, Random Ladybird on Twitch says, "We should have played this Friday, but one of my players got raided by the police." She left us on a cliffhanger there, though. She says his flatmate rather than him, but still. Your Steam was being funky? Steam is often funky. As a stream platform, it definitely needs some work and some updating. As a, I don't know, I enjoy it overall, and I think it's great. I just think there are some areas where it could use some modernizing and improvement. That's all. That's my opinion. But yeah, I have issues sometimes when I'm downloading assets from the workshop. They'll be very slow downloads when my internet is really decent. And it's 100 megabytes of downloads takes 10 minutes when that's not how long it should take ever. But Steam is throttling it even though I have my speed turned up all the way. So it's frustrating, but what do you do? You vent about it to your stream viewers, duh. Okay, so Excavation as the winning entry. This thing is clean. It's got a lot going on. There's several places for, essentially investigation, encounters, and combat. And even a long rest all around here. So you could have encounters where you talk to the various archaeologists and laborers and the healer alchemist on site. The long rest can be done up in this, magnificent mansion type space or temple. And then obviously you can have an encounter inside of the excavation site by maybe activating something in here or locating an artifact, or maybe bandits or raiders have come to take over the site or loot the site and you need to stop them. Any number of reasons can be here for encounters. What ideas would you use this map for? What kind of encounters and how would you stage this map for your players, and what would you do with it to kind of make it feel like there's a lot to do with it? Make it maybe even several game sessions. Instead of just one, it could be, between 2 and 3. You really spread it out. My general impression is I'm thinking you've got like a healer here who you could talk to and they could tell you what's been going on lately. They may even ask you to collect something inside as like a side quest. You talk to the laborers. The laborers will tell you maybe people have been going missing in the excavation site, or some of them are superstitious and scared to go back in after a recent incident. Any number of things. Talking to them is going to get you a lot of information, but not necessarily a lot of details. And then we come over here. I mean, this area could just be like the patron of the site who is paying for the whole excavation, and he's got like a nice swanky pad up here overlooking the whole thing. Could be magically, summoned here, or any number of things created. I don't know how this would be used, but that's my speculation there. I think of it as a magnificent mansion where, people can go and rest after a long day's work or whatever. Over here, we have what is kind of the staging site for the excavation and retrieval. It's kind of a two-way staging site. So one staging of, moving equipment down into the excavation, and then the other is retrieving artifacts and or rubble and pulling it out so they have more room. And then lastly, you have, which this area would be perceived as like a canyon or possibly even underground, like a whole hole or a pit. Just given the depth and the look of this, you could perceive it as like all underground, and this is just a hole where they're lowering stuff down in. And there's just a door where they go through, so it's kind of a tiny little, I mean, it is a big door, but it's still a small crevice to get gear in and out of and people, just because it's like collapsed. Is the stream being okay for everyone right now? Are you getting my feed? I just want to make sure. Atlam, can you confirm? But this area here, the excavation site, this is perfect for any number of encounters. Either, you taking off, run amok? We'll see you later, my friend. But this area here, like I said, the excavation site, lots of little cover, so you could do like a battle, whether it's, by, placing an artifact here or activating said artifact with an interaction, an arcana check or something. Cool. Thank you so much, Atlam. I appreciate you. We'll see you later, run amok. But I could imagine, like maybe you've been called in to investigate what spooked all the laborers, and then the archaeologists or like the scientists and stuff, they're like, oh, there's no reason to be scared, blah 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 blah, but can you just go investigate it? We think it's bandits or somebody in there, preventing us from working and trying to keep us out so we don't recover the artifacts. And then you go in and it's actually like haunted or cursed or something. Or it could just be bandits. It could be any number of things. Yeah, it's impressive that Steam's actually working today. Isn't that nice? I like this whole layout. I think it can be used for pretty much several encounters where you have interactions and or, maybe stop a dispute and or collect goods and then battle, obviously. Oh my goodness. Hey. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my gosh. Can you stop staring back at mom? Oh, so good. He just had a bath. Good boy. Oh, a good boy. Okay. Go handsome. Screen's acting a little funky today. Gotta figure it out. I'll play with it in a minute. Francis, thank you for the like. Yeah, this is Mr. Seymour. Cream puppy mascot. An official good boy. Boobs. Is high. What? Did you go bath? Yeah. You got rid of the gravy beard? Good. Ugh, calling him Gravy Jones. Gets like a little gravy chunks in his fur under his mouth, his beard there when he eats food. Yeah, little gravy tendrils that harden. We have to clean them out every day. Google boy for mom. Good in the bath. Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, here you go. Oh, it's mom. What, mom? Okay. Thank you. Love you. No, he'd be protecting me from him. Hey, no worries, random ladybird. Good luck. Have fun. Yeah, I have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 lately, as of late, and going through a replay, I guess. And like my son was like, "Oh, Dad, you got to get the Volo's or Airsot's eye from Volo," and I was like, "What?" So like he walked me through how to get it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is disturbing." But apparently, you can get an eye that allows you to see invisibility and all sorts of stuff. We've been, yeah, basically kind of just chugging through Act 1. We had kind of a bug with our save, and so we're a little kind of worried, but it was just after the update happened, so it might have been with that. But otherwise, the game's been really fun. Just been hanging out with him and getting some co-op on. Trying to think about where we are. Oh, at the moment, we were just at Joaquin's Rest, doing some stuff there. And we have... Yeah, we've done quite a bit of... Who's the author? What do you mean, Lambert? Oh, this map? I was so confused. This one here, here, I'll pull it up on the workshop so you can see. It's Wolf Williams. I think in Discord they go by Michael Ray Williams, but yeah, it's Wolf Williams. If you need, I can drop the link for this map, actually. I have it pulled up on a separate tab for this exact purpose. So there's that link for the map, if anyone's interested. And Atlam, you could share that, please, on Steam and YouTube. Ah, that makes sense, Run Amok. So you're on the TV now? Cool. Let's make this daytime, see what it looks like. We give it that kind of desert feel. It's pretty cool, though. I like this map. Really good job on this. Wolf Williams. If you happen to be watching, whether it's now or later, congratulations. Good job on this. And definitely feel free to give yourself a pat on the back for such fine work on this map. TikTok, can I say thank you? We're at 1,200 likes now. Much appreciated. Y'all are the greatest. Give you some knuckles. And a little I heart you. Here we go. Oh, I feel you. I'm starting to notice my eyes and my ears are getting bad. I swear my son will be talking to me, I'll be like, huh? Can you repeat that? Beg your pardon? And then with my eyes, it's like, I don't know. I'm one of those people that, like, when you look at traffic lights at night, they kind of have that extra, like, hue glow around them. So, definitely noticing that as I get older. This map is just stunning. I could see this being used in a number of ways. It's probably astigmatism. I should probably get it checked out, huh? I think that and, like, glaucoma run in my family. I just don't drive at night, really. It's the way I avoid it. See, the thing is, I fall under, like, a millennial kind of age group run amok. But, like, my grandparents were both hard of hearing. Like, it runs in my family. They both had hearing aids. And it's not like they listened to loud music. They were really mellow people. So, like, I don't know. It definitely is, like, a hereditary thing when it comes to like, hearing problems. But yeah, on one side of my family, they get eye issues. And the other side, they have hearing issues. And one side has full head of hair and the other side balds. So, that gives you any indication as to which one I got there. Definitely got the short end of the stick with that end. Seriously, I'm like, when I go to my dad's side of the family events, I am the, like, me and one uncle are the only two people who are just fully bald. Everyone else has a full head of hair. All my cousins, all my uncles. It's like, what the heck? Even my grandpa, until he was, like, in his, like, mid-80s, a full head of hair. Yeah, I really got the short end of the stick there. I really like this kind of like spacer here for safety to make sure it doesn't collapse. Because, you know, we have OSHA checking out these mining sites. Oh, I can't even get over it because there's a collider. Oof! Here, you know what I'm going to do? Cheat. And the first person view of this map is really good. As you can see, lots of options for cover and combat. Space Rock. What do they call those things? They're like a support beam or something like that. I think there's a real name for these in construction, though. Where they have, like, the box around the dig site, so if it caves in, it gets the box instead. It's like a support beam slash, I don't know, something. I don't know. Got a real name. Anyone in construction care to enlighten me? Mining or construction? Let's hear it. Or... Yep. I mean, that's basically the It's a brace. Got it. That makes sense. That imagery there, that's like this was on the cover of the old D&D manuals. Like from like, I don't know, what version was it? Was it like 3.5 or something like that? Even older. But yeah, this guy here was on the cover for like the really old books. Let me see if I can find it. This one right here. So, print runs from 1978 to 1980. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So, like a first running, I guess. And this is kind of dated, I'm sure. This site looks like, you know, not gonna lie, a little bit older, as it's made with like GeoCities or something. I love when I find sites like this, though, because it's usually someone who's very, very passionate about this particular information. And before there was like Reddit or a Wikipedia, you know, like an everything database or forum. There used to be individual sites where there was like a forum for this particular topic, or someone would make their own website full of stuff like this. More often than not, the person who put this together spent hundreds of hours building this very relatively simple site years and years ago, and like in formatting it and putting all the information together, because it was something they knew firsthand or had like inside knowledge on. You have one of these books, Lambit? Nice. That's awesome. I need to get a hold of one of those. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. First edition, is that what it is? See, I need to know my D&D better. Hey, Just Matt, how you doing? But that's what we're looking at right here. The creator who shared this one, yeah, Classic Player's Handbook Statue, is Danger Weasel, if I'm not mistaken. Go look at the assets here. Subscribed assets. Okay. Yeah, Danger Weasel shared this. Would anyone be interested in a link for this? Unfortunately, I can't share the link on TikTok, but I can share it on our other platforms if anyone's interested. But if you do have a copy of Dungeon Alchemist, you can search Classic Player's Handbook Statue in the workshop asset browser and find this. Oh man, I'm sorry, Run Amok. Rough. So there's an older version of TOA. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. All right, let's go on to another map. Spent a significant amount of time on this one. We got a lot of other maps to look at. Entries. So, let's check out this one here from Asmo Soulpire. It's called Extra Cheesy, and it's essentially a dairy farm with a unique little storage solution. Mom, it's just math! Oh my gosh. My parents were very much like Satanic Panic as well. I grew up in a kind of a really religious household where just because it said Dungeons and Dragons in the title, it was considered satanic. Never given a second thought. And, you know, there was a lot of things in my home that were just not allowed. Like Simpsons, for instance. Or, like, even just, like, things that are, like, seemingly harmless and, like, like just like not even like really troublesome pop culture things. Like I remember my mom being upset about the show Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like I didn't even watch it. Like she just was like upset that it existed. And so, you know, just that it was on the same material plane as her, I guess, offended her. And so, you know, we weren't allowed to watch that. So, you know, just to give you an idea, but yeah, D&D, I would play it in secret at my friend's house on like sleepovers or when we were hanging out at his house for the day. My buddy Nicholas, he had several brothers, and they all played D&D together. And so when you go over there, you'd already have like a table. You know, his older brother, he had one older brother and two younger brothers, so we'd just all play together. Pretty cool. And then sometimes other friends would come over and we'd play. So looking at this map, giving you an idea of what we're looking at here. This map is called Extra Cheesy, and it was shared by Asmodeus Soulpire. And as you can see, it's a little dairy farm. So a simple map, but it allows, you know, for a kind of unique work environment. And this is, you know, good for encounters. Maybe a farmer has work or needs defense from, you know, bandits or maybe lichens or, you know, wolves or something. A very simple intro quest. When I was looking at this map, I also noticed to the side this little hidden area of intrigue, and it kind of makes me wonder if something more nefarious is going on here. When you look at this map, what do you think is happening here? I'm going to read the description. That ought to help a little bit. Ooh. Okay. As we all know, the poison goes down easy when it's extra cheesy. All I know is my dog won't take his pill until it's shoved in a bit of cheese. So I can concur with this knowledge. So, and I'm not saying the pill is poison, but to him it might as well be. Because, you know. Yeah, the small city was excited when a cheesemaker moved just outside the walls. Is a cheesemaker or a cheesemonger? Let's open this for debate, chat. Better bring receipts. Okay. Moved just outside the walls, bringing new foods and a whole dairy farm with them. They are different things? Okay. But it looks like there's something definitely a little dicey going on over here on the side. And then lastly, you've got this massive cheese hoard in the hillside, which I assume, you know, is an underground kind of cave area. This would keep it cool, you know, kind of climate controlled, and at least somewhat free of pests. Okay, good to know. I also like the red labels there. I honestly didn't even know our cheese wheels had color. But the red label is kind of like the Baby Bell, kind of like the wax dip, you know? Even like a lot of modern cheeses nowadays, they still will do like a rind or a hard shell around it. So it's a good way to protect it from the elements, animals, etc. Rodents, bacteria that they don't want in there. So the consensus is cheesemongers only sell cheese, whereas cheesemakers make it. See, I was under the impression cheesemongers made and sell. Thank you, chat, for that lovely debate. Second edition DM, welcome to the stream. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist, which is what you're looking at right now. Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making utility available on Steam, and we actually offer a free demo. So if you want to try it out, you can download it, play with it, give it a chance, give it a try before you buy, so to speak. But it allows you to make maps for like a tabletop fantasy setting. A lot of people in our community make maps for D&D or Pathfinder. This particular setting you're seeing here is a forest biome where the map maker made a little cheese farm that has a little nefarious purpose. So this the cheese maker is actually poisoning the cheese, and you can see here this little kind of secret laboratory on the side. One major kind of cool thing about Dungeon Alchemist is our community. We have a very amazing and wholesome community that loves to share their techniques, but not just their style and techniques, but also their maps and their 3D models. Dungeon Alchemist has Steam Workshop integration, and right now on the Steam Workshop, there's over 9,700 maps that you can access and download for free. You can then, use them just as is, or you can make adjustments, or you can explore them and learn from them, kind of reverse engineer the map so you can use it towards your future build reference. The other thing that we offer with Steam Workshop integration is asset integration, so you can share 3D models. So Dungeon Alchemist is primarily a fantasy aesthetic, and we're adding new content, on a content, like on an update schedule to our roadmap every few months, like every 5 to 7 months we release a new update. And usually each one is a theme, covers a certain kind of aesthetic. Our last one was magic. Our next one is fun with objects. But in the interim, we've given a tool to our community to import assets to use for local or to share on the Steam Workshop. So a lot of creators are creating assets from scratch and uploading them so people have access to things that aren't necessarily available in Dungeon Alchemist right now. And others are sourcing assets online and is simply importing them and sharing them using Creative Commons accreditation, etc. So like this asset here, medical ventilator, it's licensed under Creative Commons. It was likely found on Sketchfab. So essentially this user didn't create it. They just found it on another site where someone said you can share it. But there's tokens. I mean, here we have a tank. Here we have, looks like a Chinese high house. Here's a bin, a dumpster. And, you can expand your fantasy aesthetic or jump into other aesthetics now with the asset importer or the assets on the workshop. So people are making Fallout maps, sci-fi maps, apocalypse, modern, etc. due to these assets that are, filling in the void between our updates. Yeah, it is the exact same cow, right? Over and over again. And the funny thing is they're all on like the exact same animation timer for the most part. Notice. I guess they might. Oh, they have different animations. They went through and gave them different things to do. So if you import an asset that is animated to Dungeon Alchemist, if it has a single animation, you can just activate it. There'll be like a play button. If it has multiple, you can shift between them like this. It'll have this little fast forward type button so you can kind of go through and see all the different animations available. Why is it tipped on its side? Am I crazy? I just duplicated this one and it's like, it was all broken. Weird. There we go. Anyway, so we've got a few little stables set up here and a corral for the cows. and a little compound for the cheesemaker and his family, which it looks like a family business where they're up to no good. Or it could just be like a little setup where people can come in and buy the cheese and milk and stuff from them, but it doesn't look like a storefront more than it is like an operation where they, do all their work and maybe transport it elsewhere. I do love the little cheese pantry in the hillside over here, or cave, or whatever it is. Hey, Geronimo, how you doing, buddy? Second Ed DM, are you still there? I just wanted to let you know that if you follow the link on our profile, it'll go to our website, which there are links to our Steam page as well as our Discord and other things. So if you have any questions, need support, you can either ask now, but you can kind of see other, get more information and guidance from those other locations. Cool. Particularly the fact that we're on Steam. I mean, you can just search Dungeon Alchemist there and check us out. But I encourage you to try the demo for sure. And, while you're here, ask away. These streams are AMA format, so I do my best to answer questions and guide people through, map making or deciding on, making a purchase, or if you're just interested in the product and how it functions. That's what I'm here for. Let's open up the next entry, shall we? Remember, if you're just joining us, or actually if you're just joining us, or remember if you've been here for a bit and you aren't sure what's going on, we are hosting what's called the Dam Challenge. The Dam Challenge is a bi-weekly map-making contest we host on Discord and our various stream platforms. The Dam Challenge is essentially an ongoing map-making contest where we pick a theme during the stream. Today we'll be picking a theme. I actually have a suggestion for a theme that we'll discuss in a bit, but kind of on a separate note, the current theme is hard work. So our users in our community, our content creators, were asked to use hard work as inspiration to make a map of any shape or size and then share it on our Discord in the Dam Challenge channel. There are some rules pinned at the top of the channel. If you follow those rules, your entry is considered for a possible winner. If you win the Dam Challenge, you win a $10 Hero Forge gift card. Your map is the first map featured on the stream, and you're featured in our weekly newsletter. So this map here is made by Zentik, and it is a sci-fi mining operation. And I'm going to be honest, Zentik has really tapped into a very deep well of creativity when it comes to sci-fi maps as of late. And I've been really impressed with all the builds and ideas he's come up with, especially in the sci-fi aesthetic, because it just goes to show what is possible with Dungeon Alchemist, if you really put your mind to it. As you can see here, it looks like some sort of mining facility where they're bringing up the various rock, processing it, making it smaller and smaller, refining it, turning it into different piles of resources, etc. And his sci-fi maps, they're just getting better and better and better. I think they're definitely perfecting their craft when it comes to this, and I can't even wait to see what they do with time. But I mean, this gives off a sort of like Starship Troopers or some sort of feel like that, Satisfactory kind of feel. I love the wall around the entire complex. Whoa. Here we have the a drilling operation where it looks like they're probably recovering this liquid for, whatever properties, and it looks like native life forms here. Right? Basically, it looks like a Satisfactory build, doesn't it, Lambent? Let's see what the description says. Sci-fi mining operations. Mining can be hard work for the human race, but fortunately, Nebula Corps is all about working smarter. As such, they have a workforce of robots and droids. Major mining site with ore and liquid processing that are shipped off by train. Cool. Cool. I like it. That's neat. Light rail. This is just the robots, great little like automation. It makes sense, right? Like you'd probably in the future, like especially when space travel is more viable, they probably wouldn't send us there to mine with a pick, you know? It would be like very advanced operations. I could see this being perfect for like a Starfinder setting. I think the use of this Badlands biome or the desert biomes are a great way to kind of show a foreign environment. I do think like humanity has a certain like attachment to Mars, and we're intrigued by it. You know, it's like just in reach but just out of reach. We essentially can only get there with like high optics or robots, right? And it does seem like that would be like this next marvel of human engineering would be getting to Mars, you know, landing there, colonizing it, checking it out, whatever. And I think the red like aesthetic, the red rock, the playa, it definitely kind of feeds into that. I mean, it's not like every planet out there is going to be a red rock, but it just feels like Mars to me, you know? And as such, just immediately feels alien. And it's crazy because I grew up in an area where red rock is very common. I live in an area where red rock is common, and even then I still see it as like an alien environment. Like I grew up in southern Utah. There are literally red rock national parks, canyons, like entire lakes surrounded by it. I just think it holds a certain like degree of Hieronymo says biome is a real classic. I agree for space sci-fi. I think the certain like the red rock and sand aesthetic offers like a certain otherworldly feel, you know? Put some red light on it and even more so. I love that you could just quickly adjust the lighting and make a planet or a map feel that much more like dangerous or alien. Purple one looked really good. Really highlights the neon lighting. This map is just stunning. Yeah, Zentik has really been knocking it out of the park with these sci-fi maps. Let's check out the little storage facility on the side here. We got Rob, the robot from Adult Swim, or no, from Toonami, hanging out, just making sure the stocks are good. Hey Duke, welcome to the stream. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist, which is the map making utility you see in front of you. Dungeon Alchemist is primarily a fantasy map making tool, a map making tool and immersion tool for fantasy tabletop games such as D&D or Pathfinder. This particular map, we're actually showcasing entries from a map making contest we held for the last 2 weeks, and the theme was hard work. And the creator actually kind of leaned into a sci-fi theme with this one. So not very often are you going to see sci-fi maps or leaning into other aesthetics such as cyberpunk or, like a zombie apocalypse Fallout, but it is possible with our map maker, so people kind of lean into that and do it on occasion. So primarily it's a fantasy map maker, but it is quite possible to lean into others. By the way, if you have any questions, Duke, feel free to ask. Let me know, and I'm glad to answer them. But Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making utility that allows you to generate environments, such as forests, sand dunes, snow plains, etc., in just a few clicks. And you can add rooms of all shapes and sizes, and that will automatically fill and generate the rooms with procedural generation. Using essentially our proprietary assets that we created in-house with our talented team of artists. Pair that with the fact that we offer Steam Workshop integration, so you can share maps or download maps from the over 9,750 maps available in an assorted different aesthetics and themes. I mean, here's a starship that's kind of looking like something from Warhammer, but then here's a boat that looks like something from a fantasy theme. All of these maps are available for free for anyone who owns a licensed copy of Dungeon Alchemist. And you can share maps or, like I said, just download and use them right away, which is a huge value if you like saving time as a DM. You can maybe find a map that you can just use right away instead of having to make it yourself. But you could also use this map as a foundation and make some adjustments so it fits to your campaign better. Additionally, you can import 3D models or browse the model repository of over 6,000 3D models. We support STL, FBX, and GLTF/GLB files. Animated assets, etc. can all be imported and shared or just used locally. And these are a great way to expand upon your asset library, give you more options and aesthetics that aren't currently available in our stock library. It is essentially a city or a base builder. I mean, a lot of people, will say our application, our utility is a lot like Sims meets Baldur's Gate. It's essentially allows you to build maps and settings and, export them as a top-down for your players to, utilize, whether it's in person with a printed map or a TV tabletop, whether you're using like a JPEG or a looped video, like an animated video. You can also export the maps for virtual tabletops such as Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, and an assortment of others that use the UVTT format or the Universal VTT format. So essentially our maps are very versatile in that regard. And lastly, we offer some tools that allow you to, capture screenshots or video at various angles. So like this cinematic camera, you can kind of fly around like a drone and get like cool screenshots or video of the map to share with your players. Heck, you could even stream this over Discord or Zoom or Skype or something. Additionally, if you have tokens on the map, you can place character tokens, you can import tokens, whether from Hero Forge or from the workshop, or import them yourself. Then you can place a token on the map and then explore in first person. Great way to kind of immerse your players in the map at their character eye level. Anyway, the immersion aspects of Dungeon Alchemist are not to be underestimated. It's not just simply a map maker. As an immersion utility, you can definitely provide an aspect of storytelling that your players may not be used to. A lot of people out there are visual learners, for instance, and having the ability to see at their eye level is very, very powerful storytelling mechanic. More often than when you're playing in tabletop games, these people have all these abilities. They can fly, they can teleport, they can shoot fireballs from their fingers, but we don't let them see from their eye level. This is a little robot shop. But yeah, Duke, welcome to the stream. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask. And, if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to hit that follow button. That way you can find us in the future, get support if you decide to, check Dungeon Alchemist out. We also have a free demo available on Steam that allows you to kind of test it on your system, see how well it runs on your computer. Try before you buy, so to speak. Little test drive. I love that we've got the droid from Empire. What was the sound it would make? Something like that. This is great. Amazing. Okay, let's check out another map from the Dam Challenge. Subscribed maps. I pre-subbed and opened all the maps to make sure that we didn't have to wait that long. So one cool thing about Dungeon Alchemist, if you open a map that has assets from the workshop, it'll prompt you to download them. Obviously, like I said, I downloaded them in advance to save time, so we wouldn't be downloading them during the stream, but it'll show a prompt saying, hey, do you want to download these? You can say no, but more often than not, if you say no, the map will be kind of empty. So essentially, you'll be prompted to download any asset, if any, when you open a map for the first time from the workshop. Duke, again, hey, thank you for that follow. Much appreciated. I know I basically begged you for it, so, shamelessly, I might add. Hope you didn't mind. Just welcome to the Dam fam, as we like to say. So when you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, it saves as our proprietary file format, which is .dam, like a JPEG or a PNG or a MP4. Those are different file formats. So our map format is .dam, which stands for Dungeon Alchemist Map. You're familiar with asking. You appreciate the hustle. What kind of streaming, what kind of content do you stream? Soul Jammer ships and Spelljammer ships. Both. The hard work at the Blooming Ruins. Hey, Sayron, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, let's see here. So I want to read the description here. Step into the ancient ruins of Elendor, where vibrant magical flora overtakes the remnants of a lost civilization. Sorry there, I got a little tongue-tied. This map is perfect for an adventure full of mystery and danger, featuring towering stone structures, glowing plants, and a mystical aura that hints of a powerful Feywild influence. Whether your party is searching for the legendary Elder Tome or battling the Fey Watchers, this beautifully detailed map sets the perfect stage for a captivating journey. Available in both grid and gridless variants. So this person, Ava, creates maps and provides them for sale. I'm assuming they may even have a place like a Patreon or something. I actually see their content on TikTok all the time. They make some great videos. So this is, they're kind of double there. They get both. They can share it with their community, but also enter the Dam Challenge. It's a win-win. So it looks like a little of an excavation going on here. If I had to look at it, there's a few different areas. But if you can see here, there's like a crane lifting up like blocks and different things like that. And again, more dig areas, blocks and ruins and rubble and detritus being removed. And then up here, looks like they're kind of breaking down the rock and accessing what looks like a big statue. So this map offers an intense amount of verticality, right? As you can see, it goes from like a water level Offers different terracing, kind of meandering hills, different paths, and then scaffolding, which is very common in, excavation sites. A variety streamer? Well, that's awesome. That's very cool. Like monster catchers. Monster catchers such as like Pokemon or something like that. Is that what you're talking about? My cohort does RPGs like Fallout. We're actually planning to D&D pretty soon. D&D streams are very fun. They can be challenging there because it's like a completely different type of stream. And the amount of production value goes a little bit higher just because you got campaign prep too. But yeah, I totally get it. It's fun. It's amazing. That is awesome. I honestly, if you start doing that, I hope I catch you. I usually lurk and watch streams throughout the day, all across Twitch and various platforms, and I'm on the hunt for streams that use our maps or are making maps with Dungeon Alchemist, and I can spot them like a sniper. Oh, they did? Cool, I didn't see that. That's very cool. I used to play a lot of Pokemon in my youth. And then, Pokemon Go more recently. I did stream Pogo for a while, but it was a nightmare on my data plan, so stopped doing that. But just to give you an idea how long I've been playing Pokemon. Got my original Pokemon Red cartridge right here. Hey, see you later, Run Amok. We'll see you later, my friend. Next time, we'll show you how to do the force perspective, okay? I owe you one force perspective demo. I'm that good, actually. I've beaten the games that much. I need to get a backlit screen. My screen's been kind of going for a while. Man, that case is starting to fall apart, too. This thing's like 20, 30 years old at this point. You know what? I'm going to go get a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I'm just going to eat it in the most unhinged way. Just for fun right now. Let's see. Geronimo, you got me a little concerned how excited you are for this. This map here, though, really good aesthetic for a Feywild kind of magical feel. So when I opened that case, a whole bunch of, like, dust from the container came out. It's, like, black from the actual, like, material. I think it's starting to disintegrate. This little Game Boy case is the Game Boy game bag. This thing is old. Old. Not as old as me, though. Where would I take VHS back to nowadays? Like through a time machine to a non-existent Blockbuster? Come on, man. Even if they did exist, they wouldn't have VHS anymore. Like... All your jokes are from the 90s. So, Duke, if you own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist, you can access the maps directly within it. You see where it says Steam Workshop right here? Little top tab. So, Duke on Twitch asks, The Duke GV says, okay, I got a question about community-made maps. Is it going to be like in some games where there will be a page with all the community maps for others to look at, or will you have to download from elsewhere to check maps made by others? All built right in. I mean, you can check other places. People share our maps on like Reddit and in our Discord and stuff, and Patreon and other places, but the main repository is built right into Dungeon Alchemist. You can click Steam Workshop, click Browse Maps. It opens up the repository. You can sort by most popular, most subscribed, and most recent. I like sorting by most recent, simply because you get to see the latest coming out from the community. Kind of the new stuff, right? You can also see how many maps there are at a glance. It says 9,762. And you can search for maps. So, essentially, you can type in a theme. Let's say you're playing Lost Mines of Phandelver, right? Oops, I even kind of wrote that wrong. Phandelver. So, Phandelver, mine entrance. Let's see. I want to try searching LMOP. Yeah, if you search LMOP, you get a more refined search. Cragmaw Castle, Goblin Ambush, Red Brand Hideout, 2 Red Brand Hideouts, probably even more. 3 Red Brand Hideouts, 2 Forge of Spells, and a partridge in a pear tree. 7 Red Brand Hideouts, actually. Wave Echo Cave. Like, the whole entire module is essentially here for you to look at other people's maps, download them and use them right away, or use them as a reference or a foundation. This is just one module in a very popular game, D&D. So let's try TOA, Tomb of Annihilation. More TOA maps. Another thing, too, to keep in mind, Duke, and I appreciate the kind words, and I just want to make sure you understand what we're all about as you're kind of, obviously, in this investigatory period. Dungeon Alchemist is in early access, just so you're fully aware, okay? And there's no, like, unrealistic expectations. But we release a major update pretty much every 5 to 7 months. Our next update, and we have a roadmap of our kind of future updates available, and a suggestion board available. Can someone drop the upvoting link, please? But basically, we started as a Kickstarter, right? And that Kickstarter had a series of stretch goals, and each of those stretch goals are major updates on our roadmap. So our last update was titled Magic themed update. Our next update is called Fun with Objects, which is essentially incorporating a lot of quality of life and functionality around objects and being able to do more with them. So there's been a lot of requests in our community in improving, what you can do with objects. So this update will hopefully address some of those things. So our next update actually will include multi-level roofing, so multi-level buildings, so like multi-level towers that can be generated immediately with the system, our procedural generation. You can build multi-level, but it's all by hand right now. It takes a lot more time, so next update will incorporate that. Also will incorporate better ways to place objects and more ways to, do things with the objects and fine-tune them. Essentially adding more filters and effects and things to them. Sorry if I kind of stumbled my words there. Additionally, the Steam Workshop integration, you can always just go to the Steam Workshop in like your app on your phone or on your computer, or even through a web browser, and you can look at the maps and subscribe to them. And when you subscribe to them, they'll be added into this subbed map section for you to open them up later. So you can browse Steam Workshop directly through our app or through the Steam interface, whatever your preference is, both for maps and for assets, 3D models. So there's over 6,000 3D models available to improve. We offer around 6,500 stock assets. There's 6,000 on the workshop. So that essentially almost doubles your collection if you go through and, take advantage of this. Anyway, kind of getting back to the map at hand here. Blah, 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 blah. Got a little tongue-tied there. One of my favorite things in this biome is to throw on this purple filter. I feel it really gives off that kind of Feywild feel. So, and Duke, with early access too, something to consider. Our program is a one-time purchase. There's no monthly subscription or anything like that. You buy it, you pay once, you own it. Okay? And that includes all major updates for the time being, for the foreseeable future. So we have 5 major, I think it's 5 or 6 major updates remaining until we leave early access. And after that, still, bug fixes, quality of life improvements and stuff will continue for free beyond that. And then you'll still have the Steam Workshop support and all those things. So it's essentially this ongoing project. Once we leave early access, our devs have discussed and committed to going above and beyond what we promised in our Kickstarter to essentially offer different aesthetics. So things like, maybe sci-fi or cyberpunk. These would be optional expansions that would be essentially, imagine just like a small pack, maybe $20 to $30 that includes several thousand assets, a few, like a dozen to, 24 biomes, and maybe 50 or so to 100 room types that are all within the Dungeon Alchemist ecosystem, but it's all a different aesthetic than fantasy. 5 left. Okay, thank you for confirming there, Sack. Yep, one-time purchase, no annual subscriptions or monthly subscriptions. After you purchase it, you own it. It's yours. I don't mean to brag, but I think we have like one of the best communities in the world when it comes to, just like sharing content, helping each other out. Our streams, very wholesome place to hang out and learn. They're kind of an AMA format designed for everyone to hang out and essentially pick up tips, share ideas and suggestions and feedback and whatnot. We also have our Discord, which is, I would say, the largest home, kind of a conglomeration of our community members. Over 33,000 members and counting. And we offer several channels dedicated for support, places to mingle with other like-minded GMs, share maps and assets, and just generally hang out. Honestly, yeah, I could let the community speak on it from here. I'm sorry for just going on and on and on. I just wanted to make sure you understood where we were at in our development, so you had I don't want you to feel like at any point I misled you or anything. Because, yeah, when it comes to early access, I think it's good to get all the facts straight. Hey, Caillou, welcome back. Run Amok says, I know you don't have a concrete date for when it will come out, but do you know the tentative time frame? Honestly, I wish I did. The devs, this time of year, it's hard to guarantee a time frame because also Belgian law, you're required to give a holiday around this time of year, and I think there's usually a 2 to 4 week period in Belgium where they're essentially out of office coming up in December or something like that. Or January. I don't know the exact rules and laws there, and I may be misspeaking. But they usually just are decent people, too, and like to give time off, at least that time of year, for holidays and whatnot, to allow the artists and the dev team to at least get, one break a year, right? Because we are constantly just nose to the grindstone, really working hard on each update, one after another. So, with that in mind, if I had to guess, I would say it'd be sometime after the new year, just to be cautiously optimistic and to under-promise, If we come out before then, it would be amazing. It would be a great little holiday gift for everyone if we made it before the new year. But this update is incorporating some very impressive new new concepts that are in like big improvements to Dungeon Alchemist. As we've seen, you know, the teasers that we've been sharing on our social networking and Discord, the multi-level improvements that we're adding to the next update that will, you know, allow you to jump between floors and generate these floors using our, you know, our proprietary procedural generation engine. It's going to save you a lot of time. But the thing is, it takes a lot of reworking of the existing assets. Essentially, every pillar, every door, every wall, every window, every wall type, everything has to go through and be tested in this new system to make sure it works, depreciated, and like it takes a lot of effort. So I will say this: our dev team and our artists are doing a lot of work testing this on the back end to make sure it's working correctly, to make sure it comes out in a solid state. As you can see right now, there's definitely some issues with this. This is an alpha video, so it's not like anywhere near polished. You could see the floating gargoyle, definitely an issue. The floating candles, the weird floating pedestal. Things are not necessarily working 100%, right? At this point, I would say we don't even have a concrete window of a launch, and because we're just so knee deep in the alpha beta development and testing of this feature as a whole, to even speculate. Once we get out of this, which is like the big thing we're doing in this update, I can foresee us at least getting a window kind of locked down, but until then, it's hard to speculate. I would just say probably January, February, probably later. Like, I wouldn't even guarantee January, February. I'm just speculating. Let's see. Let's show a couple more images with the multi-level. This image is really just breathtaking. And there's a lot going on in this one image, if you pay attention. So we have terraced roofing, right? Balconies, huge multi-level windows, single-story windows, buttresses, gargoyles, like all sorts of stuff in this entire like structure. And that's not even showing inside or the interior of these structures. I'm very excited for this next update because the community, I mean, we've been getting multi-level maps for like over a year now from our community, but it really is like a certain subset of the community that makes them, that really wants to take the time to make them. And once the new update comes out, I'm sure we'll be getting, you know, a multi-level map almost every day, or, you know, probably 1 to 10 a day on the workshop, just because it'll be so much more streamlined and efficient. This image right here. This used to be a ghost town. And now it's Wizard Towers as far as the eye could see. Yeah, the dev team, the primarily like are the creators of Dungeon Alchemist, and most of our artists are in Belgium. I'm like the only person in the US on the team. There is, I think, someone in the UK on the team, but for the most part, everyone's in Belgium. This image is interesting to me because of these little like bump out, like, you know, vanity window type situations, and then this little, I don't know, tower that's like hanging and has a rise between it, this little 45-degree staircase incline. There's so much here that leads me to believe that I mean, castle building is going to be so fun in the next update. Oh my goodness, I missed this a bit ago. Steve Malloy, thank you for the sub on YouTube. I much appreciate it, and my apologies for missing that. If you are still present, I very much appreciate you, and I, again, apologize. I am, yeah, exactly. Hieronymo on Twitch says, if all this all gets what it looks like now, this will be the most forward step ever in the development. It's definitely going to be a big shift, you know, in the overall, like, I would say foundation of DA and what it's about. Because up to this point, multi-level has been very much, you know, a kind of, you're on your own. There's a few methods for it. And it's not like we've given you the ability to do it, but it's not necessarily as streamlined as the core app. But going forward, it will definitely be much more straightforward. Very excited to see what our community does with this update. Okay, let's go to the next entry here. Yeah, I mean, multi-level's possible, but it takes, you know, a lot of patience. It takes a little bit of practice. And it ultimately, you know, you need to know your way around Dungeon Alchemist to do it. So that's just like any tool out there. You know, you got a little bit of a learning curve if you want to do the more advanced concepts. But you know, the fact that we're turning a very advanced concept into like a simplified, streamlined tool is going to be phenomenal. Exactly. This map cracked me up. Okay, it's called the Titan Fertilizer Company. So we got these little goblins down here. They're scooping up all the fertilizer. And guess who makes the fertilizer? This big Titan over here. And inside here, it's just a massive lavatory. Hey, Ava, we actually just got done on your map. Oh my gosh, you missed it. We just barely moved on from it. Like, not even a minute ago. I am so sorry. I loved your map, by the way. Very, very pretty. Lots of verticality. I just enjoyed all the decor. It's beautiful. You know, Highland Lass, I appreciate that. And to add to that, so Highland Lass says, considering how small the dev team is, it's utterly phenomenal what they have achieved so far. So there's less than 10 people on our team, okay? And it's not like all of them are developers. I mean, I am a community manager. I'm a content creator and a streamer. I am a voice and a face. I provide support and gather community feedback. I am not a developer. At most, I do testing. We have, you know, some admin people on our team, accounting, and just different staff, you know, a couple people that handle those things. We have artists, right, who create our assets and textures and different things like that. And then we have, I believe, 4 or 5 developers. So it's a very small team. And you know, considering the size of the team, the scope of the work we put out, and the quality, I think it's phenomenal. An update every, you know, pretty much 4 to 7 months, like clockwork, which includes major quality of life improvements, hundreds of new objects, you know, new features, new biomes, new brushes. Every single update is just a massive leap forward. I've been with this company 2 years. I started right after they entered early access and released their first, you know, basically the launch. And I have been so impressed watching this company grow, the product itself, just taking huge steps and bounds forward, how receptive the devs are to community feedback and insight and suggestions. They very much value your opinions and your insight, because they realize we wouldn't be anywhere without the support we've had from our community. Pairing that, our community is just so incredibly wholesome and supportive of not just us, but of each other, sharing their assets, the 3D models, sharing their maps, sharing their tips and tricks and know-how, insight, has really helped us grow as a whole, and helps us stay afloat and keeps us going. So let's see. The dev team, was working on this before I joined, and they were in like development for about a year. And then they kind of early development, and then they started the Kickstarter. And then after the Kickstarter campaign was a massive success, they launched a beta and collected, information. And then after the beta, just shortly after the beta, there was early access launch on Steam. And so we launched April 2022, somewhere in there, I believe. And so it's just been, a little over, it's like 2.5 years now. And in that time, there's been 8 major updates. All of them with, massive improvements to quality of life, functions, features, and themes. We've grown from, like 1,000 assets to over 6,000 assets. Twitch drops, honestly, Caillou, I wanted to do something like that, so hear me out. When I was brought on to the team, one of the things I pitched to the devs in my interview was doing Twitch drop type things. And the reason I did that, and I suggested this, is because right inside of Dungeon Alchemist, we have this fancy little built-in tool that says redeem code. So that means we could issue a community code if we hit a goal or just for fun, just to be nice. And then this code could be tied to a specific content drop. Maybe a small little content pack as a bonus or something. And the devs agreed there is some merit in that, but they'd rather focus on the early access aspects of DA and getting our development fine-tuned before they're releasing bonus content through drops. And I see the merit in that, because if we're putting time and development into developing assets just for drops, it seems like we're not focusing on our Kickstarter and our early access. So I think they'd just rather be focused on that, and then maybe once we leave early access, I could see stuff like this. But yes, I definitely could foresee us in some point in the future offering drops. And in the past, we've done something akin to a drop where, like, if we hit a certain goal, then they added a bonus content pack in the update, like an extra 20 objects or something that they weren't planning on, to kind of flesh out a theme or something. Like a few updates ago, we released an extra content pack with the update that was like 20 or 30 assets that were kind of coinage and treasure themed, because people wanted more of that stuff, but they didn't want to wait for the treasury update. So we released it as a bonus with an earlier update because we hit a major milestone. Okay, so Wingwalker007 on YouTube asks, hi, is there any plans to make this into a VTT? So I essentially, I without, guaranteeing or promising anything to a degree, I will just say that Dungeon Alchemist primarily is a map maker and immersion tool, but the devs have basically said that once we leave early access, it's basically open game. Like, we could take DA to a totally different level in our development or a different direction after it's, we've delivered on all our Kickstarter promises and have, delivered a solid finalized product. That being said, some things that have been, asked from our community and the devs have taken interest in, one of the things that our lead developer has said on numerous occasions has been like that essentially he would like to add VTT Lite features to Dungeon Alchemist, things like Fog of War, maybe dice rolling, just limited features like that would help if you play in person on a TV tabletop or like a projector tabletop. It would definitely assist for localized play. Whether we dive into something that would be online VTT support, I don't know. Multiplayer, I don't know. Character sheets, I don't know. I would say VTT Lite would more likely be the direction. That being said, Steam does offer support for like multiplayer and stuff, so if it is possible, I'm sure they'll look into it. Right now, though, Dungeon Alchemist is conducive to TV tabletop play. Right out of the box, let me show you a few features we offer that help with it. So the grid can be activated. You have different colors and transparency levels, and you can also do hex or square. Adding to that, you can flip into the top-down perspective. You can actually go in and hide the UI. So if you're on a TV tabletop, you can essentially hide everything and just kind of condense your players down into a specific area to kind of act like a natural fog of war, where you as they move away from an area, you reveal it by moving them. Alternatively, I've seen people in our community do things like cover the screen with construction paper or like a black sheet to act like a cloud or a fog of war that's like a prop. You can also do things inside of DA to cover stuff if you want. So we have effects like the black smoke. You make the brush size and the brush density rather harsh. You could fill in areas. Now, this is resource intensive, so I don't necessarily recommend doing this unless you don't have any other options. But in doing this, you essentially give this a fog of war effect that can be peeled away and revealed as they enter it. To a degree. It's not perfect, but it works. Another option is objects we have called abstracts. Abstracts are amazing objects built into Dungeon Alchemist that give you an incredible amount of control over them because they're customizable. So you can insert custom imagery into them. But one of the favorites is, people raise them up over like the different angles. Oops. Different angles so I can see what I'm doing here. This is a very large structure, so it'll take me a moment to raise it up. I hope I can get it tall enough. Yep. So I've now raised this up and over the wall of this massive Titan structure. I'm going to change this to a black color and just kind of cover it here. And then duplicate it again. Kind of overlap those. So this is my built-in Fog of War solution. And then you can just quickly delete these once your players get in there. So you can do in-world, like in-house, analog solutions like covering the screen, or you can do in DA solutions. Alternatively, if you export the map to like a virtual tabletop like Foundry, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, you could run that on a TV tabletop using our maps and get Fog of War. So you have a few different ways to do that, but I'll be honest with you, for TV tabletop games, especially if you roll your dice manually and you manage all your rolls and rules, like all your rules and saves and everything manually, then TV tabletop play is perfectly fine with Dungeon Alchemist right now. It's very easy to do. A plank can work, Caillou. I mean, that's a clever way to do it. This map, though, I think is in kind of getting back to the creation here of this map, the Titan Fertilizer Company. This guy essentially is selling his, his hard work, his business, if you will, and he's hired a bunch of goblins, or maybe enslaved them, who knows. And they looks like they have access through like a cellar door to his business, where they collect it, ferry it in and out, and then have it set up here in this like whole little system where they can railroad it off and boat it out. It's like a legit operation. absolute. Oh my gosh, I looked away for 2 seconds. I look back, and we have over 4,000 likes on TikTok. TikTok, you guys and gals are amazing. Thank you so much. Little heart for you right there. You'll have a play. Do you already own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist Wingwalker? Sure I'm not missing any chat. Yeah, this map gave me a good chuckle for sure. Like, I love the scale of it. We got these tiny little gobos here, just like this guy's big toilet with his documents and his book, little ladder. Perfect, perfect. So yeah, I would, in your case, I mean, you could try running a game right through through DA, and just imagine you have a laptop or a computer and you pipe it into the TV, whether it's wireless or you're doing like a wired connection, like an HDMI or something, and essentially just hide the UI. That would be the go-to way to do it, and then you can use the grid if you want, like I showed you. Just depends on how you like to play, really. One thing you could do, too, to give yourself like a point of reference, I believe Sack shared something yesterday or the day before that's like a little graphic that shows 5 feet. You could maybe have something like that as a scale piece art that you could use so you always know the correct scale on your TV, or you could kind of master what size of map is perfect for your TV or display. So like, let's say you have a 50-inch display in your TV tabletop or a projector or whatever. You could kind of play around with what's the perfect map to fit it, an exact map size in the projector area. So there's a few ways to kind of play around with that. But what I was getting at before is we have this overlay menu, and you can insert like custom imagery. So you could put like a scale on the side that gives you a little bit of a reference point.